out of 5 in their early 20s are still living with their parents, unable to move out and start their adult lives. I'm Greg James, and in this film, I'm going to find out what it's like to be young and jobless in Britain.
I'm literally trying my hardest to get a job, and apparently my hardest just isn't good enough.
I know that I'm going to be skint for quite a while, but, you know, if that's what it takes, then I'll do it.
I mean, I might even sign on, you know what I mean? I might even job seek as long as I'm just making 0, 0, 0, about 0, 0 a week.
I'm still writing off to people, still annoying people, still getting emails saying never contact me again.
What?
OK, we're stranded at Tesco's. Now what? You haven't got any food? It's getting more and more difficult for young people to get a job. I went straight from university to a job DJing at Radio 1, so I know that I've been extremely lucky, because young people are 3 times more likely than adults to be unemployed. Over the next 4 months, I'll be following 6 young people as they try and find jobs. James needs a wage to support his brand new family.
You feel like a little kid just going, Mum, can I borrow money for the bus?
Poonam's just got a degree, but will it get her a decent job at the moment? How much more unpaid work experience can Jasper take before he runs out of cash?
I started thinking about the debt, and I was like, oh my God, I'm broke.
And Leon's had 3 jobs in 3 years, but can he knuckle down and find one for keeps?
Hello.
This is 18-year-old Becca and her 20-year-old boyfriend Dan. They recently got engaged, and next they want to get their own flat, but they're both out of work.
In a year's time, I want to either be pregnant or have a baby and him to have a really fantastic job and just to be living in, like, a 1-bedroom apartment type thing, and, yeah.
I just need a job so I can support a family now.
Moving in together will cost £1,200, but their timing couldn't be worse. Early last summer in Nottingham, the number of young people out of work for more than 6 months had jumped 27% in a year.
Hello.
Becca did well at school, leaving with 9 Bs at GCSE. But her previous jobs as a waitress and shoe shop assistant haven't qualified her for much else at the moment.
Experienced chef required immediate start at the plough, must have own transport, can't drive. Nottingham Textiles Limited have a vacancy for warp knitter. There's actually nothing I can do in here at the minute, so people with experience in thick fields haven't got any experience in. Nearly everyone I know is unemployed, actually. I don't really have any friends that have jobs.
Becca is determined to get work. Her ultimate ambition is to own a pub. She's fighting the downturn using one of her talents: persistence.
10 CVs a day for 100 days. There's 1,000. I mean, I've been done more since I've added it up. Just so many. I've literally given a CV into every single shop in here, even ones that I don't want to work at. I've heard nothing back. I mean, there's a big Tesco downstairs at the back, and they didn't even get back to me, and they're apparently always hiring, so there are literally no jobs.
At this time, 1,000 other young people in Nottingham are in the same boat as Becca. It's been over 6 months since they last had a job.
Until I met Daniel, I gave up. I sat in Square from 9 o'clock in the morning till gone midnight, just sat there. But we want to live together. I'm not going to let him pull all my weight, so I'm literally trying my hardest to get a job, and apparently my hardest just isn't good enough.
While Dan's living with his mum, Becca grew up in care and lives with her foster parents.
It's hard to explain, but, like, do you know if your mum can't physically look after you, you feel it's your fault and you feel like no one's ever wanted you in life, and then it's like you can't get a job and no one wants you again, but it's really nice to know that he wants me.
We always have good times together, and if there are odd argument, then we get over it.
The 250,000 new graduates hitting the job market every year might expect some advantage, but their unemployment rate has doubled since the recession began and is now 1 in 5, the same as all young people. In Brighton, Poonam is clearing out her student flat. She's just finished a degree in linguistics and philosophy and is not sure what her next move will be.
So many memories from the shop classes. Oh.
Her student debt is 10 grand, which is well below the average of 17 grand estimated by a recent survey. But she still needs to get a job to repay it.
When I went to university, I didn't really know about the job market very much. So I didn't really know that it was good or bad or what a recession was. I don't think I've ever cleaned a banister before in my life. And now I have to get a job. It's going to be weird not being a student anymore. It's the only thing I know how to do. I'm used to the decisions being made for me. So it feels really strange to now be like, okay, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? But it's all right. Keep reminding myself I only graduated like 3 weeks ago. It's fine.
Poonam's part of the boomerang generation. With no money to move into her own place, she's going back to her parents.
You came early.
Yeah, I left quickly. I thought, and I left the mobile phone on. I thought if you're coming, you know.
I can call you on the way.
I don't want you to wait too long.
Oh, welcome home.
Being jobless and living at home could be extra stressful for some people used to the freedoms of uni. I want to find out if Poonam's one of them. What's your plan?
I want to get some kind of job in like publishing because I want to work my way up and maybe go into editing. I'm kind of realising that I'm probably going to need to get work experience. But obviously a lot of that's unpaid, which is a bit problematic.
Are a lot of your friends in a similar situation to you? They've gone back with their parents for a bit?
I do know people who've had to go home because they've become stuck and stuff. And it makes sense for me to come home because I live in London, so if all the jobs are going here...
And your parents are cool to have you hang around here for a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're loving it, actually. I think they're really excited that I was coming back home.
So it's nice to have your girl back home?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah? A lot of the parents are kind of like, right, OK, it's been 3 months now. I think it's probably time that you got out of our house and...
No.
You're not like that at all?
No way.
No?
No. She might stay for as long as she wants.
That is cushy.
Yeah.
You don't charge rent?
No rent, no nothing.
Wow. Did she cook anything?
Even if she earns, it's all her money. She don't have to pay a single penny in the house.
Great. Can I move in?
Yeah, anytime.
Brilliant.
I'm in the middle of unpacking at the moment. It took the whole day to
Yeah.
just unpack my clothes.
Do your mum and dad have any aspirations for you?
I think they're quite okay with whatever I want to do. They know that it's difficult, especially like right now, because you hear about it all the time, how it's like a really bad time to start looking for work. And like even my uni was saying, if you want to do a postgrad, it's probably a good time to do one now.
Graduates leaving university this year are facing the toughest job market in 10 years, with an average of 70 applicants per graduate job. Poonam has already made 150 applications. How many rejection letters have you got?
Well, not actually that many. Most of all, you just don't hear back from people, which is almost worse than a rejection letter.
You're very active in looking for it, though, aren't you, by the looks of this?
Yeah, well, I'd rather know that I'm at least doing something.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not getting hired from like lack of trying or something.
Are you desperate yet for a job? Or was it just you wanted to have a little payoff after a day of being boring?
Well, yeah. I think it's more desperate of like, right, I'm going to say I've applied for something today.
Have something to show for yourself.
Exactly.
Watch Weakest Link.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the next few months, Poonam's dream of a job in publishing will be tested as she faces the current job market and finds out whether her new qualification is a shortcut to a better job or just a very expensive detour. So the idea of kind of education is like you go to primary school, then you have to go to secondary school. You make a few choices, but you don't really make that many. You know, you might choose your GCSEs. So then the conveyor belt kind of keeps going and going and going. You might go to uni, that's the conveyor belt, and then all of a sudden after uni, you're kind of stuck. And you've got no real place to go next. You have to really make a massive decision. I think that's where a lot of people fall down, is they're not quite ready for the end of the conveyor belt, and people just sort of fall off the end of it. So it's just really difficult. It's a shock to the system, I think, because all of a sudden, you're kind of on your own. The number of jobless young people has actually been on the rise since 2001. And a big jump during the downturn has meant that more than 900,000 young people are out there looking for a job.
Seems like a heavy load.
In Brighton, 20-year-old James left school with few qualifications. He lost his job in catering last year. He knows he's got to do something fast because he now has a family to look after. He, his 18-year-old partner Chelsea and their 2-month-old baby Evie are surviving on job seekers allowance of £100 a week between them. I'm meeting Chelsea and James, who are living at home with James's mum. I'm Greg. Nice to meet you. You all right? Hello. Young parents, but also without a job at the minute. Sort of double hardness.
Yeah.
Is that tough for you to sort of manage?
Oh yeah, extremely. £50 each a week from a job centre, which isn't enough at all really. And it's sort of about £40 goes to James's mum, and then about £40 between us for Evie, and then sort of keeping bits and bobs just in case you do run out of things for Evie.
Mm-hmm. Must be frustrating, I suppose, not to be able to just go, right, she needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Go and buy them.
If you haven't just got your sort of job seekers money and it's all gone and she does run out of formula or milk, I have to ask my mum. You know, it's really horrible and undermining. Like, you feel Yeah, again, like a little kid just going, Mum, can I borrow money for the bus? But, you know, she hasn't got an infinite amount of money at the end of the day. She can't keep on lending me money.
When James lost his job, how pregnant were you then?
I was only about 6 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
What did you think then when you came back and sat on the sofa? You went, we just lost our jobs. What do we do now?
I was hysterical. I just didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, it put like such a massive decision on whether we were still going to go through with it or not.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I'm shocked that losing their jobs could have meant not keeping their baby.
There was a week when we were going to have an abortion, and then we just hated it. Like, we just didn't speak to each other, and it was just really weird for the whole week. And then, sort of just at the end of the week, spoke to each other and said, well, we obviously don't want to be doing this, sort of thing. We knew it was a massive risk, and we needed the backing from our parents, and we were fortunate enough to get it.
I suppose they'll get to a point where James's mum will just kind of go, it's been a long time, and I can't keep giving you all this money because I haven't got it, maybe. How long do you think you and James can survive without either of you working?
At the moment, we're only paying for the milk, but solid food's going to be a lot more expensive, and she's going to grow out of all of her clothes, so to be honest with you, not that long, I don't think, because it's just going to be so hard. Just everything's so expensive.
I'm actually quite taken aback at some of the stark decisions that people have to make because they haven't got a job, and it's quite worrying, but it's a reality facing so many young people at the minute, and it just makes me wonder, how difficult actually is it to cope with?
Good luck, darling.
Wish me luck.
22-year-old Londoner Jasper has been coping with no money for a year. He's a history graduate with debts of £22,000, but despite the hard times, is aiming for the top. He wants to break into the music business. So far, he's worked unpaid for 10 months, and today he's going to yet another interview for an unpaid placement.
I can't even think of how many. There have been so many. A lot of them you don't get because, well, I don't know why I don't get them, really. Oh, mate. Did you see that? Oh, wait, this one.
Jasper's done so many of these interviews, he's got a sixth sense of his chances.
It's Friday at 5 o'clock. This is the last slot of recalls. So they've probably decided on someone already until they met me. Which, hopefully will alter their decision, but it might not. At the beginning, I never got that nervous because I just figured you will find a job eventually, like, you will. But because there's been such a long stream of things that I haven't got, my confidence does dip occasionally. But I'm still doing it every day. I'm still writing off to people, still annoying people, still getting emails saying never contact me again.
Doing unpaid work experience, sometimes for years, has become an accepted way to get a paid job in the music business.
Usually I come out and I always look for the positives in them, and I always think that was good, and try not to nitpick on the negatives because otherwise I won't be able to sleep. Whereas this, it's like a puzzle. I can't work it out. I can't figure out whether they like me or whether they didn't. I don't know.
If things don't get any better for Jasper, he'll have to sell the only valuable thing he owns, a record collection which he reckons is worth thousands of pounds.
I need to get out of my overdraft before I get in too deep. It's a bit sad, but as a 22-year-old who's unemployed, trying to find a job, he's got student debts and an overdraft and a graduate credit card. It just seems like the right idea. I feel like I'm going to cry. But it needs to be done. I feel really lazy, even though every day I'm on the phone and emailing people and going to interviews and going to gigs and stuff. I still feel like I'm not doing enough because I haven't got a job.
What I'm realising is that unemployment during a downturn is a great leveller. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. Everyone's struggling in the current climate. June in Sheffield, and the number of 16 to 24-year-olds here looking for work for over 6 months has risen by a staggering 80% in the last year. This is Leon. He's 19 and lives with his mum, and he's keeping a big secret from her. His mum thinks he's going to work as usual, but 2 weeks ago, he lost his job.
I've only done it like a couple of times now. I just got up in the morning, put my uniform on and dusted, really just done one. Unfortunately, yesterday she gave me a lift to work. It's pretty complicated. I had to like sneak around work and then get back out to the bus stop and get home.
Leon was sacked as an apprentice hospital porter because of his unusual approach to timekeeping.
There's a list of things, really. 14th of May 2010, you were absent through sickness. 6th of April 2010, you came into work at 11:30 when your start time should have been 8:30. 11th of May 2010, you did not arrive at work until 3 p.m. I was just a hospital porter. I said just an hospital porter, but it was a good job.
Leon left school at 16 with 3 GCSEs and has struggled to stay in a job.
Yeah, I've been late 12 times, but everyone had an excuse. I mean, they didn't give me a second chance.
Leon's not going to sign on. His plan is to get a new job before his mum realises he's been sacked. He's already applied for another job with the NHS as a catering assistant, and he's managed to get an interview. I'm going to go and have a little chat with him and see if he's prepared, see if he's ready for it, see if he's up, actually, because he might not even be up. Okay, he's already 10 minutes late so far. It's not a great start, is it? It is now 9:35, so he's going to be late for his first interview since he lost his job. Morning.
Morning.
You all right? What time's the interview?
10 o'clock. I'm incredible anyway.
I don't really know Sheffield that well, but how far away are we?
We're about a good 25 minutes.
Okay. So you going there?
Yeah, I think that's the main entrance. Yeah.
Lovely. He was really nervous, which is a good sign, because it means that he cares a little bit about it, but not enough to get out of bed. Well?
Yeah, it went all right, yeah.
Good?
Just a bit nervous all over.
What did you say about your lateness?
You didn't really get into it, like...
Really?
Yeah, I didn't make an issue of it, no.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
Yeah, it went all right, yeah.
So what sort of things did she ask? Was it all right?
She asked me what temperature they put cold food in the fridge or something, you know, I don't know, it's really basic stuff.
And you answered that easily?
ABC 1 till 3, you know what I mean?
Okay, so when did you find out?
Before 2 o'clock today, apparently.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. What's it now? So it's midday?
Yeah.
A couple of hours, you could have a new job?
Yeah, could do, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Good. In Brighton, James knows it's time to move on with his adult life and choose a career which will support his new family. He's torn between building and catering, and he's going round to see Dad Richard to get some advice. His parents split up when he was young, and James lived with his dad. But when he turned 16, he went to live with his mum.
I get away with a lot at my mum's sort of thing. So, yeah, he sort of sees it as I left to go to my mum's because I can get away with murder there. And yeah, he just thinks it's unfortunate that I've sort of left myself in a position now where, you know, I could have had work and I didn't because I was more interested in going out and getting drunk.
Dad's a carpenter who runs a small building firm. He's got quite frustrated in the past by James's lack of focus.
Hi, James.
Hello, Joy. Yeah.
Good, thank you. I have quite strong opinions. You get off your arse, you get out there and you do it. And that's what I keep telling James to do. A bit of the boat's been missed, really, hasn't it?
I do sort of regret some of the decisions that I made, some of the choices too.
You just chose everything that was easy. Didn't want to do anything that was hard. As soon as anything came on that involved any form of difficult work or hard work or study or anything like that, it was the easy option was to say, I don't like it, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
From doing mechanics, catering, goodness knows, pubs, everything you've been involved in. Building anything that becomes difficult for you, that was it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, James suffered for a while in the fact that he sort of had some disease that you couldn't get out of bed before midday, could you?
Well.
You swore blind to me that it was a disease, you couldn't get out of bed, it was impossible. You couldn't sleep before 2 in the morning and you couldn't get up before lunchtime.
One of the reasons why I went into catering was because of the fact that I can work around them hours.
This is where I suddenly find myself getting irritated. I'll be fine in a minute.
I want to focus on being a builder, but then am I going to find the work quick enough? If I can't find the work quick enough, then I might as well carry on looking in catering.
I don't know, you've got to decide what you want to do, haven't you, really, James?
Yeah, no, I know. Well, see you later. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Good night. Bye-bye.
My dad's not exactly slating me, he's not insulting me. He's just trying to tell me as it is, really. Yeah, it's not nice things to hear. Me and my dad have had quite a few big bust-ups about it, really, where we've sort of, you know, I've ended up in tears and my dad's ended up all upset, and, you know, it's not nice, but I did sort of bring it on myself at the end of the day. I'd love to make my dad proud. I think he's extremely proud of me for being a dad, and he's happy about that. He's proud he's got a granddaughter.
In Sheffield, Leon didn't get the hospital job and is finding, just like James, one of the biggest hurdles he faces is that he's not sure what he wants to do.
It's been difficult, me trying to find myself a lot. Just trying to find what I'm good at and what I can offer employees and what I can offer just to life in general.
Like, you're only 19,
so
it's not a bad position to be in, I don't think.
When you ain't got no ambitions, though, when you ain't got nothing, no dreams, especially a dream, I ain't got a dream, it's like, it's difficult, isn't it, just to live day to day, really. I look at other people just finishing their A-levels or already at uni, and then I look at them and I just get jealous. And I think, look, I wish I could have had that life. I wish I could have just got on with something. Just get some thought and some focus.
Do you feel like you wasted school a little bit?
That's what it feels like, yeah. I just saw it as somewhere just to go and just hang out and, do you know what I mean, and just generally be a nuisance. And I think I paid the price, really, haven't
I just sympathise with him because he's like a lot of people that I know, and it's a tricky situation to be in. And anyone could be in the situation that he's in. I could be in it. We all could be in that same situation. It's really difficult because if you haven't got anything to work towards, then you just sort of feel a bit lost. And I think he just feels lost. Leon has been trying hard to get a job, but he's finding it difficult to fill all the hours in a day.
I've always been playing football, really, going to the gym, PlayStation 3, Facebook, YouTube Face, as we call it, aren't they?
Up till now, Leon still hasn't told his mum that he's lost his job, but he's finally run out of money.
I'm going to have to sign on, aren't I? I'm going to have to do. I don't want to sign on, to be honest. I just don't like that world. It's an horrible world to be in, isn't it? I want to focus in life. I just can't seem to find it.
Leon's not the only one who's swallowed his pride and signed on. Almost 5,000 other young people in Sheffield are on job seekers allowance.
Just got some job sheets, but that's what I mean, man. You know, outside there, then I don't want to be associated with that. It's not for me, that place.
Going home means more creative thinking for Leon. He's still lying to his mum about being at work all day.
It's something like, I don't want to talk about it because some bad stuff's happening, I don't know, you know what I mean? Make it sound interesting. Well, no, make it sound not interesting so I shouldn't get intrigued, but convincing, you know?
This time, Leon's lucky. His mum's still out.
Latchkey boy.
At least Leon has his mum to fall back on. As I'm about to find out, that can be a lifesaver. In Nottingham, Becca's best mate Sarah rents a flat on her own. They're both still looking for work, and Sarah's scraping by on job seekers allowance of £100 every 2 weeks. Tonight is a very special night. Tonight is Dole Money night, and it gets released at midnight. And then we're just going to go on a little shopping spree. It's 11:30 p.m, and I'm meeting both of them in Sarah's bedsit. I see you've chosen a jug, do you now?
Yeah, it's because I can't be bothered to wash up.
Sarah's rent on this charming flat is covered by housing benefit, but everything else has to be paid for out of her £50 a week.
That's the guest room, that's the kitchen. No, that's the kitchen, sorry, that's the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's my microwave toaster, cheese toaster maker, kettle and fridge.
Sarah usually goes to an all-night supermarket to collect her dole money on the dot of midnight so she can go shopping straight away. OK, toilet paper, washing up liquid, chicken, bacon, bread, milk, cheese, meatballs.
Yeah, I like my meatballs.
Onion rings, juice, rice, curry sauce, butter, cup of soup.
Charlotte, Lottie, you?
The girls go to get ready, leaving me in the room. I wouldn't like to live in this particular room much. I wouldn't want to live in a room, sleep next to my cheese grater. Sarah and Becca like to do their midnight shop in their pyjamas.
Thought it'd be quite fun to go in. Why ever not?
Why not? They walk to Tesco's an hour each way because they can't afford the £4 bus fare. Becca has been unemployed for nearly a year now, surviving on handouts from her foster parents, and she's finding it seriously difficult.
I mean, it is tough job hunting and so on. You said it's been a year.
Yeah.
You've been unemployed. I mean, you must get a bit down feeling about it.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a lot of self-confidence issues anyway. And then again, obviously, just not being able to get a job in the first place sort of makes you sit and question yourself, like, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? What makes you feel very low and like you're not good enough for anyone.
The moment of truth.
What? Oh! As if.
So it's not gone in?
Apparently not. Why? See, I
I think you might get the same answer.
I'm sure it comes in at 1 minute past midnight. It does too, won't it? Oh, this is interesting, isn't it?
OK, we're stranded at Tesco's. Now, now what? You haven't got any food? Oh, this is not fun, is it? Sarah's had to borrow £20 from Becca and Dan until her money comes through. Very frustrating for them. They've walked so far. We all walked so far. But such a small thing like a shop, when you're jobless, becomes the biggest thing ever. You saw Sarah's face just then. She was just gutted. In Brighton, James has been unemployed ever since Evie's been born. It's obviously causing tensions, and they're still flat broke.
It's just horrible not having any money, if you know what I mean. Just not being able to... But fortunate enough that James did have a couple of in this bucket, otherwise we wouldn't have spaghetti now, sort of thing.
Like many others, James is caught in a classic jobless dilemma. Go for just any advertised job, typically on the minimum wage, or hold out for something better paid, which uses his skills.
Things like cleaners, you know, they're the sort of thing anyone could go into a cleaner's job and pick it up and pretty much know what they were doing. But there's no point in getting into, you know, a job I don't particularly want to do. Who can't do telesales? But I think I'd kill myself after about a week of doing it. So I'll take that, job in Taboo. That's a sex shop. Drivers, sales, marketing, technician, education and training. Nothing about catering. There's work, but it's nothing that people particularly, like myself, would particularly want to do, or could do, you know.
Poonam's also finding there's a big gap between the job she wants and the ones being advertised. So she's taking the plunge and going on benefits.
Today, I'm going down to the job centre to sign on. I've never been to a job centre before, apart from just like to walk in and use like their machines to search for jobs and stuff. But this is the first time I'm going in to talk to an advisor.
Her appointment is at 11 a.m.
This is really early in my world. I had to wake up today around 8:30, and I think my first instinct was wanting to cry. At uni, we'd probably stay up really late for no reason and then sleep away most of the day.
This is a new world for Poonam, and she's feeling a little out of place.
I'll be honest, I have a stereotype about who goes to the job centre. You generally think of it as people more who don't want to work, as opposed to the people who can't work. Hey, if it helps me, I'll be scummy and pikey for the day, I don't mind.
Poonam has her heart set on a job in publishing, but there aren't many of them going in the local job centre.
This is the assistant secretary job, which is just office running for a recruitment agency up North London. And the second is an executive assistant. So I was like, what's that one? It sounded a lot better, didn't it? It's not what I want to get into. No, the kind of admin assistant roles and stuff like that. But as a temporary solution, it might be okay. But I'm still fresh out of uni, so I've still got reason to keep kind of aiming high a little bit.
In Sheffield, Leon tells me he thinks his mum Michelle has twigged he's no longer working at the hospital. Leon? How are you?
Not bad, yeah.
So the coast is clear for me to finally meet her. So did you talk to him about the hospital porter's job?
He's a man now, you know, it keeps some stuff from me. Or quite a few things. You know, he may sort of like say he's still there and I think he's nice.
OK, so you knew he wasn't working there?
Yeah.
Even though...
He was telling me that he was.
OK.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
It's a typical 19-year-old thing to do. You lie to your parents just because of little things like that. But what did you think of it?
I wanted him to tell me himself rather than me sort of like in shy private eye.
Did you investigate?
I just sussed it out. with, you know, just sort of like duty work, consistent in sort of like saying when he actually started work and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
Why did you not want to tell your mum about it?
As someone as a young adult, I thought I had the right to just keep it to myself. I don't think I had to share my mum.
No, you didn't. I was just wondering why you chose not to. Was it because you...
Just because of that, really. I thought I had the right not to.
it's embarrassment in saying I think he was not wanting to sort of like disappoint me, feel that he let me down and let himself down.
When Mum's around, I'm seeing a slightly different side of Leon. It's only now that I'm getting a real sense that being jobless has hit him hard too, and not just in the pocket. Jasper's dreams of being a big hit in the music industry have moved up a gear. After 10 months of unpaid work experience, somebody's actually offering to pay him.
Yeah, I had an interview, and that went really, really, really well, and they offered me the job, which is insane. And they were like, you're the strongest candidate we've had, and I was kind of like, it's the first time I've ever heard that. It's the nicest thing in the world, like, even throughout the whole of my life. And it starts tomorrow, and I'm still kind of like, whoa, it's taken a year to get here, but I'm finally there, doing something I really want to do with people that I seem to get along really well with in London, which is so satisfying. I'm only 22, so I'm very happy. I know people who it took them 3 years to break in, and I've done well, I think. But I don't feel like I'm anywhere near starting. I feel like this is... I feel like I can see the start line now, rather than having to qualify for it, do you know?
In Nottingham, after weeks of searching, Becca's boyfriend Dan has got a job too. It's working in a kitchen at a local college. He's making the most of this new opportunity, even if it means starting at the very bottom in a hot, sweaty kitchen and being paid the minimum wage.
Yeah, could do with some aircon. It's not so much pot washing I like doing, but getting to learn stuff off the chef all the time, that's quite useful to me. It's a good chance I could become a chef and be doing it forever.
For the moment, though, he's doing a 35-hour week on a weekly salary of £210.
What would make me happy is if I could build up enough money for a flat and then have money in the coming years to get married and look after kids as well. I mean, if you can't afford to provide for yourself, you can't afford to provide for a family or anything. So work is just the biggest thing for me.
I think first things first, we want our own place, don't we?
Yeah.
Something we can call home that's ours.
A couple of little babies, well, they'll be little in 30 years' time, will they?
No.
But yeah.
They're running the pub with us. We are quite sweet together.
And people tell us just, like, stop a bit, don't they? Like,
yeah.
Just, you know, you stop being so
Stop
sick.
being so perfect.
Things are also looking up for Becca. Scatterbombing Nottingham with CVs seems to have worked, and her 4th application to pub chain Wetherspoons has been accepted.
Today is my first day of training to start my new job. I threw up this morning. I'm really nervous. It's my first paying job in about a year, so I'm extremely nervous and I feel really sick. I mean, if I just finished the job a couple of weeks ago or something, I'd be fine, but because it's been so long, so it feels like you've got to relearn all your motoring skills and everything. It's just horrible.
Becca's been really lucky. This pub chain has been taking workers on during the downturn. Nearly 1,500 young people in the last year. What I'm realising is that there are a lot of jobs out there, but they are low-skilled, poorly paid and unsocial hours. But there are a lot of people that are working really hard to get these, and you have to respect them for that. In Sheffield, Leon's been continuing his search for work and found something that might be right up his street.
Got an interview at Greg's and then I feel good about it. I'm enthusiastic about getting this job, but I've just got to get it, haven't I? You know what I mean? I don't even consider joining Foreign Legion if I can't get this. Yeah, that's how desperate I am, man. I've come for that interview with Claire.
Leon's really banking on getting this job, and he hasn't mentioned being sacked on the application form.
I think I might have got it, you know, yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I think it's difficult to say, but you know what it is these days, man. It's just a stereotypical person gets the job, don't they? I just see the job. I just hopeful that these will ring me up and offer me this job. To be honest, I'll tell you now, the benefits were pretty good, really decent. £6.31 and 50% off passages is all right. you know what I mean? Can't beat that, can you?
In Brighton, James still needs money to support his girlfriend and baby.
You got your truck?
No.
20p.
But he's turned his back on the job ads and found a solution closer to home. It's a job with Dad, Richard, who's decided to offer him some trial days at his building firm for £50 a day, providing he can turn up on time and pull his weight.
This feels more adult, getting up early, finishing at the right time, coming home, jumping in the shower, cooking dinner and going to bed. That's it, and then I got the weekend to myself for the first time. It's the first job I've ever had that I've never worked weekends. I mean, my dad's, he's already said, like, he'll sort of he'll give me a bit of a pay rise and stuff if I start doing well and stuff like that. So it's sort of looking up like that. It'd be nice to stay on with my dad, really. I quite like the idea of RS Young and Son. It's quite a good, sounds quite good, I think.
He's doing well. Can't fault him at the moment. He's turned up on time and he's trying hard because he's been sort of kicking his heels for such a long time with no real direction. And I think now he's got Evie, he's certainly moving ahead and wanting to work and wanting to provide for Chelsea and for Evie.
So much more satisfying about sweating than sweat. It's when you're in the kitchen and you start sweating, it's just grease. You actually feel like you're doing something.
To get a proper job out of this, it'll take more than just impressing Dad. In the next few weeks, James will have to pass a health and safety test. In North London, Poonam's had some good news. She's managed to arrange a meeting with one of the senior editorial staff at Cosmo magazine. And she's done thorough research, right down to the outfit.
On her column, I looked at what she was wearing. I was like, right, see, that's her column. So she's wearing that. So I was like, okay, if I have another high-waisted skirt, I can do that. It's amazing, but it's kind of equally terrifying because it is Cosmo. It's exciting, but I'm so scared.
The meeting is a chance to find out how to get into publishing from commissioning editor and writer Rosie Mullender.
I did an English degree and then a postgraduate publishing qualification, but I worked for 3 years in a petrol station, so which was endless glamour. And I just read all the magazines over and over and over, but it took me 3 years to get my first job. So it was a case of kind of being quite skint for 3 years and then getting into magazines.
On CVs, cover letters, things like that, do you have anything that's gonna, something like a little tip or a trick that I could do to get myself noticed?
You know, do a bit of research saying, I love the article 3 months ago about loving your body, and I love the one this month about domestic violence, because we get hundreds of applications.
You've got one from me. Just like I drop that in there.
Yeah. Coming into the office and having a chat, that would help a bit.
I had reservations about, you know, doing really lengthy work experience and not earning the money right away, but, you know, if that's what it takes, then I'll do it. I know that I'm going to be skint for quite a while in my chosen career path. But, you know, I just came out of being a student. I'm used to being skint. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine.
Life has really changed for Becca. When I last saw her, she told me how being jobless had really affected her mood and self-confidence. But Becca is now pulling in a regular wage. It may only be around £100 a week, but it's good for her ambition to manage a pub and for moving in with her boyfriend Dan. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
You must be very busy. It is lunchtime.
It is lunchtime, yeah.
Can we have a little chat?
We get a 5-minute break, yeah?
So last time I saw you, you were job hunting and you were getting a bit sad about it.
Yeah.
And you must have just thought, yes, phew. Was it a bit of relief for you?
It was a really big weight, like, off my chest. It felt amazing just to be like, yeah, you've got a job.
What's that first paycheck like?
I went to the bank and I put my, you know, my ATM thing, put my card in. It was like, however much it was. I was like, oh yeah, I put money in. So I withdrew it all as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I just wanted it there, like, yeah. And then I went and I bought myself a sandwich.
Celebration.
You know, a nice
What a
Tesco
party.
sandwich.
Have you been on a spending spree yet?
No, I haven't. I've been on a saving spree.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that for the flat?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Saving up around 60 to 80, maybe £100 a week for it, so.
Do you feel quite sort of proud you've got a job now?
I'm actually quite frustrated, you know, because even when I'm walking around in my uniform, my mates still go, where do you work again? And it's really irritating, because I want to, like, show off, like, yeah, I work in Wetherspoons, but they're just like, they never remember.
So you're proud of where you work?
Yeah.
You must be proud of yourself.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it felt like I was going actually nowhere in life. But now it feels like I've got a job, I'm moving in to get like with my partner together, everything feels like it's falling into place and I feel like a real adult. So I'm quite proud of myself that I've got this far. I feel like I've sort of progressed as a person or whatever. Like, obviously I got the job, which means I can't be completely crap at life, so it's a nice feeling just to feel wanted, I suppose, more than anything else.
And Leon's feeling wanted too. He got the job at Greg's, and it's his first day.
A bit late, aren't I, so...
How late are you?
Been told to get here 15 minutes before time, so... I don't know. A bit late, aren't I, so...
In fact, for once, Leon is early, but only because he got his start time wrong.
You were good, yeah. Fine, I was checking it this morning, you know, like, how it passed, like... I mean, I dropped, like, a state big. You're like, right, slow motion, you know what I mean? I thought, bollocks. And I didn't think about it, but apparently that's going to count my wages now, so... You know what I mean?
Leon wanted a full-time job, but this new opportunity is only part-time. It's just 16 hours a week, which means his pay packet's just over 100 quid, so he won't be moving out of his mum's house anytime soon.
Look, I can't move that kind of 100 quid a week, you know what I mean? Well, I'm going to go and live some sort of bed sitting in Islamabad. You know what I mean?
James has now been working for his dad for a month, but he has to sit his health and safety test, and today's exam day. He's just squeezing in some last-minute revision.
I don't see why I wouldn't pass. I have done some revision. I haven't just sat there and done nothing. You know, all my mates have passed it, so I'll be gutted if I don't, basically.
James has to pass this test if he wants to carry on working with his dad.
Not too bad. Bummer. Unfortunately, he did not reach the required standard to pass the construction skills health and safety test he took today. Well, I thought I was doing really well then as well. I'm like breezing through and going, yeah, that's common knowledge, surely. And my dad's not going to be too happy, I don't think. He's going to call me a moron, isn't he? Seeing as I turn around to it, you know, my mates all said it takes a moron to fail it, and I failed it.
James will have to resit the test. Poonam's been out of uni and back at home for a while now, but she's made some progress with her job hunt.
I had some good news. I got an email from the PA to Rosie, and she asked me to call her back, and I did. And they want me to do some work experience there in the feature section in January. So I'm pretty excited. I have you marked for coming in from Monday 3rd January until Friday 28th of January. I get to start at 10 a.m, which is quite cool. A little bit later than normal, considering, you know, the amount of rejections that you get day in, day out. It's kind of nice for someone to say, actually, you were good. As far as job hunting goes, I've decided to do sort of temporary, admin-y, anything-ish work between now and January. Like, fortunately, I'm not really paying for a lot myself right now.
Poonam's really pleased, but the reality is she'll be waiting for months just to do 4 weeks unpaid work experience. And she'll have to do lots more of it before she actually gets paid, if Jasper's experience is anything to go by. He's now 4 months into his first paid job with a big record company, but money is still a worry.
The good news is that you're earning. Yeah, it's not a huge amount. I'm earning minimum wage, which is, what, about $5.95 now? Something like that. Because I got a raise the other day of 13p, which I was very happy about.
Not to be sniffed at?
No, not at all.
It must feel a bit of achievement, I suppose, of actually getting this job in a major label, which is what you wanted. Yeah, it's not great paid, but it's only early days, isn't it?
It's definitely, and I think it's a really good starting point as well. I mean, it's a starting point to a career, because now I feel like I'm in the door. Initially, it was the struggle to get through the door. Now I'm through the door, so it's now less about getting a job, but actually starting a career.
What are the prospects for moving up in this place? You think you can manage that? Or what's the next goal? Getting a contract renewed? Or?
I've now got 2 months left of my contract, and it's funny, you know, because I keep on, the people I talk to at the label, they're like, yeah, well, you know, we can say, they're stone cold. It's just actually quite funny, because I'm dropping hints all the time. And they're just like, I don't know, mate, I really don't know. So, basically around Christmas, I'm either going to have a great one, or it's going to be back to square one where I was when I first met you guys.
The debt, then?
Yeah.
When we spoke to you last time, you were talking about selling your beloved record collection.
Yeah. I've had people, friends of friends, being like, oh, hey, you're selling your records, can I buy some off you? And then the little part of me is kind of like, no, go away, who told you?
Jasper's decided not to sell his record collection for the moment, but back round at his house, I want to know what the real knock-on of his year of no pay and now low pay will be on his future.
How is living back here affecting your relationship with your friends and your girlfriend in particular?
Now it's really, really good. It was hard when I didn't have a job because I had no money and she was earning, you know, money that a graduate or someone who would have graduated 3 years ago is now earning. And my mum, my mum and dad are saints really with what they've had to put up with. And they've been great, but at the same time I am 22, turning 23 and I do want to move out and like, start my life properly as becoming as independent as I can get.
Are you pleased that you've managed to find this job?
Oh, I'm so happy I've got this job, but at the same time I'm also really nervous because I don't know if I'm going to have a job in 2 months and I'm potentially might have to go back to the slog of finding a job, which is horrible. And I really feel for the people that have bought in to the idea that university will provide you with one, because it's not like that at all.
It was all looking so good for Leon, but after 6 weeks with Greggs, he's got the sack. Again.
Basically, that's it. I've got like a month's worth of pay. I've got 2 weeks suspension and a month's worth of pay. Turning up to work 2 minutes late on 15 occasions. And apparently that way I couldn't take constructive criticism well. Oh, and that was apparently they said I do everything half-hearted and I don't really use my own initiative as much as I could do.
But Leon's not a quitter. Overnight, he's come up with a cunning plan B. He's going into fashion. Like many people, he's decided to turn his back on the jobs market and enrol on a course at a local college, although he's had to stretch the truth a bit to get in.
They asked if I got a portfolio to show my work. I went away, did some pictures that night, and I, you know what I mean, drew a few, what I thought were a decent jacket and a couple of T-shirts, and they thought it were good. I told them I did it 6 months ago, and I did it in a space of about 12 hours. I'm just a blagger, aren't I? I'm just a complete and utter con artist, you know what I mean? Just blag my way onto a course. I can do this for like 10 months, 11 months. Started applying for uni in November time, December time, January, whatever. Started spreading the love, the Leon love.
When I first started this film, I thought being unemployed just meant being a bit bored and skint. I didn't think about the reality of actually not having a job. It dents your confidence, it affects pretty much everything, and it's just not much fun. The picture across the country is a complicated one. There are jobs out there, but they're often part-time, low-paid, or even no pay. The people that I've met are still chasing their dreams, but they're making some compromises along the way. Given the current economic situation, it could be a long time before those dreams are fulfilled. Leon's still in Sheffield on his course.